So AVOD, as an investment option, really covers, a whole host of different opportunities for us. And it really comes down to which AVOD provider you're talking about. There are a number that have been around for quite a while and have fairly scaled and defined offerings. There are others, as we all know, through the past 12 to 18 months, there have been a whole host of launches and new services that have come to market that are exceptionally well received by consumers. The challenge is that each one of them has come to market slightly differently in terms of how they sold their initial packages. The measurement solutions that are in place are still kind of in their infancy, so we don't have the ability to necessarily measure impact and incremental reach to the extent that we'd want to be able to relative to our traditional linear investments. So in terms of where we are with AVOD, I think we're in a hyper growth stage in terms of the transition that consumers are having to streaming. I think that we're seeing acceptance of the ad-supported model, which is promising. But I still think we're in the infancy in terms of understanding how best to leverage the opportunity from a marketing perspective as the TV marketplace changes so quickly.
Now, Adam, you also have a background on the sell side, being at ABC for a number of years. What are your thoughts about some of the strategies of programmers who are going whole hog into the AVOD? Is there a possibility that they're cannibalizing their linear offering? Do they have to do it? What is your thought as a recovered TV executive?
So I've got quite a bit of background with regards to both the buy and the sell side, and in terms of what I think about the different strategic approaches that are being taken by some of the networks and content companies right now. I'm not surprised by what any of them are doing. It's clear that consumers have been enabled by technology and access to watch on their own time. They want things on demand, and they want aggregated offerings of large swaths of content. So I truly believe at a macro level, the move to streaming services is something that was going to have to happen. I would fully expect that within a short period of time, most entertainment and scripted content that people consume will be on demand through streaming platforms. I do believe that there will be a continued live TV experience on live linear, but it will be different types of content than in the past. Well, it'll continue to be sports and news, but probably much less scripted entertainment. I do worry that what we are starting to see is, in some cases, an absolute focus on non-ad supported development and distribution. I think that there's no question that the streaming services are cannibalizing the ad-supported environment. And about 50%, maybe even north of that, of viewing that shifts today from linear television to streaming services is moving to completely non-ad supported platforms. And that's a problem. That's a problem for marketers. But it's not unexpected because, quite honestly, we've, as an industry, not kept up with consumers in terms of the advertising experience they expect. And it's not a good ad experience in quite a few environments today. And until we correct that, until we innovate around it, and until we improve it, I fear that there'll be a continued move to non-ad supported platforms.
So, Adam, speaking of the ad experience, frequency capping obviously is one of them. Ad load is another. You've seen a lot of innovation with interactive, with different kinds of approaches. What approaches or what sort of ad experience you think would be more attractive to consumers? What opportunities do AVOD publishers have to make the experience better?
I think there are a tremendous number of ways that we can reimagine and re-explore innovation on the ad format front in an AVOD environment. I'm continuously kind of shocked that we have even maintained the pod and multi-ad position model, and just kind of assume that that's how we need to move forward. Now, obviously, there's a lot of historical precedents for that in terms of business model. There's also a lot of necessity in terms of how programs are produced and cut and edited to support ad breaks. But I do think moving forward, we have to question whether that's the right model, whether we need 2 or 3 ad breaks in a 30-minute show, and whether there's a different format that can be developed that incorporates advertisers in a much more organic way, less intrusive, more balanced for the viewing experience, and potentially that enables interactivity and levels of engagement that we haven't seen before. I mean, that's just not possible in the traditional linear environment because you're bound by time and things have to fit into certain time periods. In an AVOD environment, that restriction goes away. And I think that we really need to start imagining what's possible as opposed to relying on what's been done in the past.
And related to that is the marketplace, Adam. And I wanted to ask you, your thoughts about, the upfront, the spot market, the role of programmatic, certainly that's becoming bigger. How does the marketplace change now, and where is it going in your estimation?
Well, the marketplace is an interesting thing. As you know, Andy, we're on the cusp of the annual ritual that we all call the upfront. So I'll be choiceful in kind of how I characterize what I think is happening in the marketplace and what we expect. But look, we're in a transitional marketplace. There's no question about it. The supply that has existed historically is not going to continue to exist in the same ways and in the same environments that it has. And it's critical that marketers understand that. It's critical that agencies who are engaging with the marketplace recognize that there is a very swift shift to streaming, that we have to rethink our models. We have to ask our sell-side partners to shift their business models to enable buy-side decisioning to become a reality at scale, because ultimately that will help us reduce ad load, and that is in the best interest of everyone. If we have all of the supply side working together to help us optimize where our messaging is delivered so that we don't over frequency users and so that we can optimize our reach, it will allow us to change the way we do business. And I think that's what we need to aim for.